Hi everyone, and welcome to this episode of Soul Seeds, where Jessica is my guest expert for today. And Jessica is both an intuitive medium and the guide, no, other way around, intuitive guide and medium. There you go.
All the things.
All the things. And today we're going to talk about mediumship. So I would love to know, what are some of the abilities that you have as a medium?
Ooh, no one's asked me that question in a while. Okay, so I'm an interesting kind of character when it comes to
Mhm.
mediumship. So I can connect with crossed over loved ones and do the very traditional model of what they call evidential mediumship. And that's kind
Mhm.
of what you see on, it's not what you see on TV, but it's kind of the root of what you see out there, where you're pulling through evidence to
Mhm.
prove that the soul continues on and that,
Right.
it continues on after death. So I started off in evidential mediumship, and it evolved because I realized that I was really great at spirit guide and angel mediumship.
Mhm.
And so over the years, I've kind of worked on all of them. And I'm really great at connecting with star beings, spirit guides, angels, loved ones, ascended masters. It's just kind of all these different flavors. But I
Mhm.
do know that a lot of people are really brilliant at evidential mediumship, and that is their zone. And then some other mediums really like connecting with these different beings that bring knowledge and wisdom and information. So
Mhm.
I know there's two different circles, and I just happen to kind of dip into both of them.
Mhm. That's awesome. And
Yeah.
do you have to have like certain skills, or do you have to be like high sensitive or empath? Or
No, I think anyone can do this. I
mm,
really do believe mediumship is a skill. It is
mm,
not some gift that you're born with. Now, I think some people have an affinity for it, just like
mhm.
I probably could learn how to ski, but I wouldn't put that on my list of talents,
Yeah.
right? I would do it professionally per se. Right? But
You don't want to
I
go
could enjoy
ski
it.
jumping?
Exactly. I could enjoy it for myself.
Right.
Mediumship is kind of the same way.
Mhm.
Some people really, there is this calling, this passion, and a certain level of skill and talent that lends themselves to being a professional medium,
Mhm.
where I believe that all of us can develop these skills for our own personal use in our day-to-day
Right.
lives.
Mm. And how do spirits speak to us?
All the different ways. So signs, I think the most approachable one that people really can lean into are signs. This idea of finding a coin or a feather or seeing a butterfly or a hummingbird or a certain kind of bird, like a cardinal or something.
Mhm.
I think that really calls to people because it's something external to themselves that they can
Mhm.
see and they can put their hands on.
Right.
But they communicate in more than just those ways as well. They come to us in our dreams. So if you've ever
Mhm.
had a really vivid dream where a loved one has come in and it's just like you're both there, all of your senses are engaged: the
Mm.
seeing, the hearing, the feeling, the knowing, the smelling, the tasting. It's mediumship. It's just happening in dream form.
Mm.
And those visitations are really wonderful and lovely. I had one from my father that was just so real and so needed, and it wasn't very long. I was dreaming, but it was just, I can still recall it, and it
Mm.
was just absolutely lovely, like that one more hug, right, that we didn't
Oh,
get.
yeah.
I
Mhm.
love that.
Mhm.
And then our energetic senses are clairs. So when you're working on the skill to read for others, not just yourselves, though
Mhm.
these do count for yourself, you're training yourself to tune into this being, right? Sort of like a telephone. You're ringing them up, calling them
Mhm.
forward.
Like, hey, are you there?
Hello, hello. And they're sending you energetic information like
Mhm.
radio waves, and you're picking it up, either
Mhm.
seeing it, hearing it, knowing it, feeling it, all the different ways, smelling it, tasting it. Those are always fun.
Mhm.
Um, and you're just picking it up and you're translating that energy into something that makes sense to you. So it's a
Mhm.
very straightforward. I know people think it's got to be this fancy thing, but it is actually very straightforward once you understand the
Mhm.
basics and kind of start to practice.
Mhm. And what is something that people actually should know about mediumship that is usually like misunderstood? Because sometimes it is quite feared as well.
I've always found that interesting. That I was never afraid of it.
Mhm.
Um, it was something that I didn't realize that I had been doing all along since I was very young,
Mm-hmm.
until I took a class and I was like, wait a second, like
Mm-hmm.
someone was talking about it. And then I read a book and I was like, I'm already doing this.
Yeah.
Huh, interesting.
Mm.
I think a lot of us have that once we kind of get into it, we can start to see in our past that we were already kind of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
For me, the way that I work with evidential mediumship is I connect to the energy of love.
Mm-hmm.
My intention for mediumship is that it be a healing experience, something that should uplift us and should help us expand.
Mm-hmm.
So when I connect, I'm following this energy and this vibration of love to the other side. And
Mm.
in return, they're following that love to me too. So it's almost like a matching of the same song, right? I'm playing a song and they're playing a song, and it's very
Mm.
similar, and we're able to
We're
connect.
on the same frequency,
The
basically.
same frequency, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm following love, that's what that's who I'm connecting with.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I'm bringing through, are those beings that share that love. Now, that doesn't mean
Right.
that some people who come through aren't challenging in readings, because maybe the person across from me didn't want to talk to them, and they have that
Mm.
right. But
Right.
maybe there's some kind of healing that needs to happen, or forgiveness or understanding, and it
Mm-hmm.
is coming from a place of love.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But I don't think, I think people, they're going to tune in and they're like, well, what if my loved one isn't on the other side?
Mm-hmm.
What if my loved one is someplace really awful? Y'all, I've been doing this for a very long time. I have never met anyone who is someplace awful. I have
Yeah.
never met anyone who isn't beautifully on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I can't connect with the person you want just due to whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but I can tell you they're there. And the amount of love that flows through that connection, if that was the one thing I could pass on to someone
Mm-hmm.
directly, I wish like I could be like,
Mm-hmm.
oh gosh, you got to feel this, and just could hand it,
Right.
hand it to the other person.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It makes you tear up. It
It's
makes your
like a
eyes
cup of
water.
green tea, right?
It's like a cup of green tea. Exactly. I love it. Yeah. And so I think they're just afraid of what they don't know. Or
Mm-hmm.
what if I connect to something dark? Or what if I connect to something whatever?
Mm.
Honestly, y'all, the odds of that are very slim, especially if you're, in a development circle, or working
Mm.
in a class, and your intention is to follow the love.
Right.
You put up some protection, you put up some filters, call your guides in, call your angels in,
Mm-hmm.
and for the most part, you're good.
You're good to go.
You're good
And
to
what
go.
would you start, beside that, of course, coming from love, what would you advise someone who's at the start of that mediumship, or who wants to explore that more?
Yes. Find either a development circle or a class with a
Mm-hmm.
teacher that really resonates with you,
Mm-hmm.
that when they speak, you understand what they're saying, not making yourself understand, not making yourself, right? But that you're like, oh, yes, no, what they're saying, this resonates with me, how they're saying it, I get it.
Right.
And then make sure whatever class you sign up for, that you actually have contact with the teacher and practice time with the other students, because it's in the practicing that you make the most advancement, because you got to figure out how you work, and you're going to work differently than I work.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way that you can kind of start understanding how it is that you work is to do it, even though it's
Mm.
scary, even though we don't want to be wrong.
Yeah.
The more you do it, the more you figure out, oh, that no is very helpful, because I realized that was not applicable,
Mm-hmm.
and I need to try this instead, right?
Mm.
And
Right.
so finding someone you trust that speaks your language, where you have contact with them, they can really help you, and you can practice with the class, is key.
Mm. And what is it that you would like people to know about the other side?
We are such expansive energetic beings. The
Mm-hmm.
body that we're currently in, one crossover loved one described it as a shoe. We are just the shoe to the whole of this other energetic being that's
Mm-hmm.
here. And one part of that soul energy slips into this shoe of our body, but it still continues to exist. Even now that you and I are sitting here in this dimension on this planet, we're over on the other side as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so not only do we continue on, we never stop existing on the other side. And if we never stop existing on the other side, then that means we have the ability to tap into that,
Mm-hmm.
just because we're already there on a soul level.
Mm. Amen. Thank you so much, Jessica. Really, thank you.
You're welcome.